The garden rescue team are on a mission.
Look at that!
To create beautiful green spaces in family homes.
What do you think? I think that's super cool.
And make people's garden dreams come true.
Fab!
Charlie Dimmock
Pushes the boundaries out.
the much-loved queen of the family garden.
What could go wrong?
The Rich Brothers,
Good luck, boyo.
creators of classy, trend-setting outdoor spaces.
It's such a nice pop of colour, isn't it?
And Arit Anderson,
That's brilliant!
an award-winning designer with a distinctive sense of style.
A lot of these plants are quite easy to maintain.
They're here to answer garden emergencies
There is a lot to be done.
based on the client's needs and budget.
So I think it's definitely challenging.
2 sets of plans.
Wow.
Designers create and pitch, but only one can win. Ooh. Garden plan.
Jazza!
And the loser has to help them build it.
Oh, look at this!
This is what happens when 2 different styles collide
What's not to love?
to turn garden dreams into reality.
Oh, Charlie, I love you!
That's a bit better, isn't it?
Today, it's the Rich Brothers versus Charlie. Their challenge, to transform a blank canvas into a modern garden with the wow factor.
Here we've got Joe, we've got Robert, we've got their son Morgan, and they're from Wrexham.
Okay, Wales.
Yep, and they are
Lovely.
literally going to be moving into the house just before we come to do the garden.
We moved in less than a week ago, moved to another new build. We've had a new build previously, so that was
As well as my son, we've got a dog,
really what enticed us to...
Alfie, so it's really nice to have the garden.
And this is the garden, so...
How fantastic, though. The fact there's never, ever been a garden there before.
No, and they're trusting us now to create their first family garden. It's going to be a very exciting project for us. It's a fresh canvas.
Fantastic.
This, as you can see, is just like a bit of a building site. It's full of rubble, glass, stone, weeds. So it desperately needs something doing to it.
And their kind of strapline was, they want a wow garden with a hot tub.
Oh, well, that is wow.
So one of the things that we brought with us from our previous property is the hot tub, and that's really important to us.
Really, that is key. It just needs to be part of the actual garden design.
Is there any sort of theme or style?
There is. This garden is all about strong architectural lines, strong architectural planting.
The style is quite modern, fresh look to match that. It's definitely clean and modern. Obviously, we've got a house,
What's the budget?
a new build, so, you know,
The budget's £6,500.
Fantastic.
That is a big budget, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's wonderful.
Should be able to get the wow with a
Yeah.
budget that big.
As long as we get that wow factor in, they'll be happy.
To check out the scale of the task, Charlie and the Rich Brothers head to Wrexham, to Joanna and Robert's very plain plot.
Oh, it looks like this is a storage area.
Good access.
Yeah.
The drains everywhere.
Yeah.
Typical new build. Wonder what the soil's like.
Wow. Oh, no. Oh, look at that.
So you mean there's a couple of inches of topsoil that's quite stony, and then a nice bit of clay.
And that's the perfect footwear for it as well. If he can't do it in those, no one can. It's always the classic, the new build, like the soil is always kind of mediocre, isn't it?
Yeah, it's never the best.
No.
Never the best.
You see, at the moment, you wouldn't want to use the garden, would you? At least it's
Wow ideas.
I'll leave that
Yeah.
with you. You can go,
Not-
it's all cleared for us. Nice. Do some
I
digging
know, I
now.
haven't lost yet,
And
you
some
know.
stuff. Well, should we go see if we can get a little bit of inspiration?
Some
picking as
I
well,
haven't
Charlie.
lost yet.
Well, a nice modern kitchen, but for me, it's the actual finish that stands out. It's very high spec, looks gorgeous.
I mean, are you referring to the sparkling work surface?
I am indeed, yeah.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely portrays character and quality, doesn't it?
Joanna, Robert, this is exciting. A brand new garden.
I know,
Yes.
but look at it.
Yeah, it needs a lot of work doing to it. We're looking for something that's modern, quality materials, hence the budget.
So when you say you want it modern, do you want sort of Mediterranean, do you want cottagey, do you want...
Definitely not cottage.
Definitely no
not
cottage.
I suppose it's more maybe contemporary.
Yeah, contemporary architectural plants.
OK, so you want, like, dramatic plants.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely material because it's so...
We want a bit of a, like, a wow.
It's good dark, isn't it? Because I feel like when you put it to sea, isn't it? Some slate, put it into a garden, it really distinguishes an area.
And if you had anything like planting beds, you think, well, plants would work with that colour.
Nice contrast.
Oh, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I was expecting to see a hot tub here.
Yeah, the hot tub's in the garage, waiting to go in.
But the hot tub is a definite.
Absolute definite.
It has to go in. It has to go in the garden.
Do you want it screened?
It's more of a shelter over the top.
What else do we have to think about? Because you like entertaining.
We like being outside, we like entertaining, having our friends round.
You've got a son, Morgan.
Yes,
Yes,
and he's getting older, so he's going to want to utilise the garden more
Right.
with his friends.
Yeah, away from mum and dad.
Dad, yes, that was just good for us. It's just good for us.
We've got a little Westie, Alfie, so a bit of grass for him. So Simi's just going round in the rubble at the moment.
So we're saying entertainment area,
Yeah,
the wow factor,
so we can use it all year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
water, light.
Yeah. We like to go out.
Yes.
Lighting, definitely. Just
Having shared their discoveries, our rival designers are keen to get cracking. Each of them will come up with a design for Joanna and Robert's wow factor garden that works within their £6,500 budget. The couple will choose their favourite, and whoever loses will help the winner build the garden. Labour is supplied for free by Charlie, the Rich Brothers, and their team of landscapers. Back in Wrexham, it's time for the pitch.
Hello.
hi.
Right.
Ooh.
So this is our design. So we know that you wanted to have a very modern and contemporary social garden. We wanted to give you a very geometric, quite simply structured design. And it really lends itself to actually break it up into these different spaces. Rooms, lovely and wide, this garden.
The Rich Brothers have gone for different rooms to create a modern garden.
Hello.
Hi.
What will Charlie's take on contemporary be?
I'm using materials to give you a modern feel, but also contrast. So the main seating area outside your patio doors here is of a very modern blue-grey slate.
Right.
And then I'm using concrete lintels in the garden to contrast with that, so a modern material.
Yeah.
And then some old craggy rocks as features. So this is a big enough rock to sit on.
Oh, right, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
And then a couple of standing stones.
Yeah.
A space for entertaining is high on the couple's list of priorities.
So on this area, larger groups socialising. So here, an opportunity for a large dining table.
Yeah.
About you guys being able to be outside
Yeah.
This is about dining.
together as a family or having a large group of friends.
Charlie has plans for socialising in the far corner of the garden too.
This is a chill-out zone for Morgan. This is like arches with hanging seats in them. So they're like bucket seats that hang. So I'm just thinking of Morgan and his mates.
he'll
They're
love that.
detachable, but
Yeah.
that space, and then there's a fire bowl there.
That's great.
That's great.
So far, the couple seem impressed with both schemes. But how do our designers plan to bring that all-important wow factor?
This next space then, very contemporary, very open. And then in the centre of this then, a really sculptural, multi-stemmed tree. So nothing that's going to dominate the space,
Yeah.
but something that's going to really celebrate the seasons and be very beautiful. This is the real wow factor in the garden.
Yeah.
When you have the doors open or you're looking from the living room, you just have this simplicity.
So
It's one tree, it just stands alone.
Like
So
that.
this is the wow border.
Dear.
the reason it works is because of
I've divided the garden by using these concrete pillars.
Oh,
So
right.
they will look quite dominant and give you this feature of planting along here. So these plants along this section outside your patio doors are going to be what I would call your dramatic architectural plants.
Right.
So Charlie's promised a wow factor in the main planting bed. But what about her plans for trees?
Now there's 3 key plants in the garden.
Yeah.
I'm basically going for a birch, a maple, so quite a tall
right. Oh,
maple,
lovely.
yeah.
Japanese maple, and then a cherry tree to
Lovely.
give you that seasonal interest right across the year.
Yes.
And if that wasn't enough, Charlie's hoping to win Joanna and Robert over with another bit of garden glam.
I have got some water in the garden, just a very simple reflective pool, so I'll have a dye in it to make it black.
Talking of water, what about the
Oh, right.
So it will
all-important hot tub?
reflect.
In that corner there, nice and private, we'll have a nice structure around, timber structure around it there, which gives us the idea of growing something up as well.
All right, yeah.
having a climber on there. As it matures, it will
Yeah.
create that roof that you kind of
Yes.
get. But it'll be a living roof. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about kind of cleaning it and
Exactly.
maintaining it.
Yeah, that's yeah. Great for me.
The roof is literally a very simple polycarbonate roof with very sort of narrow posts holding it up. And then round your hot tub here, I've got a little bit of screening, not too much. I'm
Yeah.
just going to go with that modern horizontal screening. And not all the way round, because otherwise I find with a hot tub you feel like you're enclosed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's a really good
Thank
idea.
you. Thanks
Thank
very
you
much.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
The pitches are over. It's a tricky decision for Joanna and Robert,
It's tough, isn't it?
Very,
but only one wow factor
very tough and
garden can win.
two very, very different.
But both fit the brief.
We're basking in the area where we're having our seating area.
Okay.
Like the bits that they've done with the wooden table and chairs.
Yeah, 'cause we get a lot of our friends and family around that, can't we?
I've got a little seating area there.
Yeah.
Got a chill out, hang out area for Morgan.
Nice.
That's for nice just for the three of us, or Morgan on his own and we're over there. So I think we might even get more use out of that.
We've gone more geometric with the lines of the garden.
Okay.
One bit here is main seating area. Second room, which is more like the featured tree area right in the
Right.
centre. That is the wow factor, isn't it, of the garden? It's going to be a pretty mature, multi-stemmed tree.
Ooh.
That tree is just amazing, isn't it?
Like the separate areas that they've broken everything down in.
It's
I
really
think my wows were
modern.
Yes.
How much wow do you
different materials. So
have in this garden?
I think
Nice.
got natural rock, slate,
Nice.
and concrete.
But I do like the idea that Charlie's come up with the concrete.
Do you like them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the concrete, the large concrete slabs.
I like that. Do you want the water?
I really like the concept.
How about the roof for your hot tub?
I've got like a clear roof.
Have you? So we've just gone for climbers that will hopefully
Pergola.
when they. Yes, pergola.
Yeah.
And then over time, when the climbers kind of mature, they'll create a lovely kind of green roof, living roof.
That really works. That really works well.
It's going to be hard.
Yes.
Creaky.
It's time to find out which garden has delivered the wow factor Robert and Joanna were hoping for.
Hello.
Hi.
You look stressed
It's been
or choosing.
really, really tough.
What was
In that short period
more stressful, moving?
of time, probably the Tuesday. But yeah, after a long, hard think, we're ready to reveal, aren't we?
Yep. So this is the design we're going with.
Oh, Jazza.
I never get the modern ones because everyone thinks I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Fantastic.
I think what swung it for us, well, the swings. No, I think somewhere for Morgan, you know, he's getting older now, and I think it would be nice that he has his area and we have ours.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Charlie's delighted with the win, but she'll need the Rich Brothers' help if she's to whip this patch of dirt into a garden that makes you go, wow. It's the morning trusty landscapers Steve, Andy of the Build in Wrexham. He and Lee are keen to get started. Project manager Paul and his team of...
Blank canvas.
Well, it is. So basically, there's nothing here at all, really. Loads of paving going in. Charlie's got a lovely water feature in there as well. Suspended seating area.
Suspended seats.
Yeah.
Your speciality, Lee.
Loads of lush planting around it. We've got some great 3 big stones that go near this area, which is going to be the hot tub.
What's the patio? It's just a blue triangle at the minute.
That's all slate.
OK.
What do you reckon then? Should we get cracking with it?
I think we best crack on before it rains.
Yeah, so do I.
Right.
Come on then, let's go.
The team begin by marking out where the new patio is going to go.
So roughly where the edge of the paving's coming to. And that sort of tells me where my slabs need to go. Now I need some spray.
The old slabs are lifted and a crushed limestone foundation is left. Nothing is wasted. A solid base for the hot tub is fashioned using the old patio.
To me, to you, to me, to you, to me, to you.
The groundworks are well underway.
It's a trapdoor.
And the slate patio is coming on nicely. But Andy and Paul need a plan to disguise the unsightly manhole covers.
Right, I'll tell you what, Andy.
Yo.
What we're going to do about that blooming great big hole behind you?
Inset manhole lid.
OK.
So, basically, now I've made a start, what we need to do is get that the same height as these. So that basically needs to be up there.
OK.
So we need to put some concrete underneath it.
Right.
Sit it on the concrete, same height as that, and then put the lid in and I'll pave through it.
Right.
And hopefully you won't notice it as much.
Right. So they won't even know there's a drain there.
Well, that's the plan.
Holes. Expert carpenter Lee is building the strut whilst Andy's busy hiding the manhole that will hold the 3 suspended seats Charlie has planned for the chill-out area to the far right of the garden.
As you can see, I'm using really strong sleepers here. Into the ground almost 3 foot, so it gives us a good, solid, firm base.
Andy's clever trick for the manhole cover is looking good, as are the new sandstone pathways. Just as well as Charlie and the Rich Brothers are on their way.
Chaz, look at this.
I know.
Pretty sexy, isn't it?
It is. This garden is all about the wow factor. So that's a bit wow, isn't it? Because that space isn't huge, is it?
No.
And Robert and Joanna want the space bigger, get a lot into it to get outside. So we got to make it a little bit so.
Because there was nothing in there before.
Look, wow.
What's there? No.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So you've got to fill everything. Everything that goes in now is brand new.
Brand spanking new. You're going to be on concrete lintels, you guys.
Oh, wow.
And by way of the change, I thought I'd do the water feature.
You treat yourself well, don't you?
So hopefully we won't be tripping over each other.
I hope not. Harry's only got size 5 feet, that's fine. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh, look at this, boys. Moving through. So that's the concrete lintels, which we're going to use as upright, because new builds tend to have nothing in them at all, which is great because it means you can do design-wise what you want. but you need some height in a garden, so they're going to add some height as well as divide the garden. And this is where the hot tub's going to go. And of course, this garden's all about the wow factor, so lighting is going in, so electrician. And then look at this pavement here. We've got some rocks to go in. And I put it on the diagonal, which here, water feature, makes the garden feel much bigger. It pushes the boundaries out. And Andy has countersunk the manhole cover, so you don't even notice that it's there, which is fantastic. And look at this, Lee has been really busy. It's sort of a pergola, but not really. It's a bit special. We're going to be hanging seats, so Morgan has got a chill-out area with his mates. There's a lot to do, but once it's all done, it's going to look pretty cool.
Charlie's ingenious design divides the garden using concrete lintels, planting beds and paving. Its key character is a mix of materials and textures, including 3 large feature rocks, which will lie along the edge of the slate patio next to the water feature and hot tub.
Look what I've got in here. Whoa. All right, aren't they gorgeous? Upright.
Yeah. Nice.
Put your
Gold or
towel on it.
Oh.
So
Crikey.
this one's going to be...
Love it. Oh, just sling it up.
Yeah. And jump in the hot tub.
There's just the small matter of getting them into the garden.
And what could go wrong?
I'll get it.
I'll hold the wheelbarrow.
Oh, get off me. Nice and steady, amigo.
Oh, he's small, but there's a lot of muscle power in there.
There is. He's like an ox.
Oh, there we go, yeah. Oh.
That's easy, easy does it.
Easy.
That's the one. Oh no, I'm going to go down this hill and not be able to stop.
Come on, Harry, I think we should...
I'll get him here, just in case he starts rolling down.
Andy, that looks like it's going down all right.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
And I just love the colour of that. Picks up the golden colour of this rock.
They do go well together, don't they?
They do. They're expensive. You're looking at... Now, rocks like this, at something like £60, that is to 120, dependent on where you are in the country. But what you've got to remember is the cost of moving the rock from the quarry to where you are. So, like, the cost of the transport puts the price up. So, but luckily, we brought them with us. So, we saved a little bit there.
At the centre of Charlie's contemporary design is a wow factor planting bed that divides the garden with an array of dramatic upright lintels. Harry and David have the tricky job of digging them in.
Looks like tough old stuff, that. Well, it is. Go on, then, you're in. Being a new build, I think what's happened, they just chuck loads of brick and hardcore. I mean, the soil itself is very good. It's just a case of getting rid of all the big... These lintels go in! Bigger chunks. And I'll tell you what, Charlie's got working hard today. Oh, I know. How much...
The Rich brothers have finished the trench.
2, 3, 7.
Are you sure now? Normally goes 2, 3, 4.
To fix the concrete lintels in position, they're going to need more manpower.
Andy, you seem to be avoiding the issue of helping me and the boys get these lintels
I'm very
in.
busy, Charlie.
I've never seen you relay a slab so many times. And now you're sweeping the patio. Yeah. Come on, let's...
Too long.
But how many gardeners will it take to get the lintels into position?
What's the gap? Let's budge it up, that was Charlie.
Do we think that's going to be too close?
Steve,
Have
come
we
on,
got
mate.
enough lintel?
Virtually the whole team, it would seem.
6 inches.
That's exactly 6 inches.
No, you lie, that's about
How
2
would you
and a
know
half.
that? Moving only, rotating it around.
About that,
That's 7.5. You're on a stone, actually. Bit more, you're not moving.
Steve, come on, move.
Perfect.
Lintels like these will set you back around £30 each. With 8 being used here, Charlie's striking concrete structure cost just under £250.
Right, who's going to be the filler-upper?
Me.
Get off my lintel, you!
Who's shaking my lintel?
And now everyone's involved.
Right, that's bang on. That's bang on.
We all work as a team here.
That one's not well.
There you go. All right.
That's good. That looks a lot better.
The concrete lintels are set in place with a mix of water and yet more concrete. This time the quick drying variety.
I'm going in, so get it down.
And not on me, you little tyke! Look, you! I'm getting wetter and wetter.
The hard landscaping is finished. With the first set, and Charlie's water feature has a lintels up, the majority have arrived. The steel surround cost £150.
Oh, that is lovely. Well, that'll make... Yeah, take it out. Let's take it out. Oh, look at that. Much instructions. Got that. Is it so heavy, Andy?
It is heavy, yeah.
Oh, I think that's really nice.
A simple metal water feature like this is perfect to give the garden a modern feel. Meanwhile, Charlie and the Rich brothers kick off the planting with this lovely birch.
Is that what we want it, roughly?
So we're just placing some of the more key trees in because the digging is quite difficult and we don't want to squash this in with lintels. Ooh. So 3.
Well done.
I'm thinking it's going to go somewhere over
There's a brick there.
There is a brick there, Chaz.
there. 1, 2. Where?
Yeah.
Right
On
by
your
you.
right foot now. Oh, no, you're safe. Now there's a hole, and you're over it. Very good.
Oh, who's digging that hole?
Charlie's design contains 3 feature trees, a birch, a cherry, and a Japanese maple or acer.
Crack it, can't we?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Right.
lovely.
The acer is destined for the water feature.
I do like the foliage going over the water slightly.
So you're happy with that?
Maybe a bit more, yeah.
Location-wise?
No, around, yeah, but we
Oh, sorry, that way more.
a bit more. Yeah,
That's very Japanese.
yeah.
Out front, Carpenter Lee's moved on to the hot tub roof.
Right, concrete in.
Whilst back in the garden, the team are laying yet more concrete lintels, this time next to the hanging seats.
This isn't the water feature.
Oh, don't see that. Charlie, pretty cool.
Here.
Right, I just I've lost it now. Concrete in.
We lost it.
I never thought.
You.
Lee's hot tub cover is ready to go up.
All right. Woohoo! It's all happening. It's the roof. Joanna and Robert were very keen to have a cover over where the hot tub's going. So that's the structure. What's going on top is some acrylic sheeting. And I've been a bit radical. And it's not just clear, it's different colours. So they don't know about that. That will be a surprise for them. Is the air thin up there?
My ears thick. Yeah.
What do you think? What are you fighting here for?
Charlie's feature boulders are to be positioned close to the hot tub.
Right here, we're going to have one of the craggy rocks, an upright monolith one, and then the other big flat rock is going to cross the barrier. Towel on there, perch on that one while you take your flip-flops off.
Andy's cutting a hole for one of the rocks in his newly laid patio. By placing it here, Charlie plans to emphasise the contrast of smooth dark slate and golden natural rock.
Oh,
like a glove.
It's going to look quite nice. You can see the gold.
Yeah, you can see the gold in it. Fool's gold.
Lovely.
Right.
Let's get the gaffer back. Charlie.
That looks really nice, actually.
Time for another of Charlie's feature trees, the cherry, and Harry's doing the honours.
Yeah.
happy?
I think that'll be lovely.
This is the Prunus cerula. It's also known as the Tibetan cherry. It's nice and open structured. It's got a beautiful leaf and it just adds lovely naturalness to the garden. It also has a beautiful flower in about April time. So again, it's going to come alive and add that burst of colour. It's got a lovely bit of autumn colour as well. So this is going to sit beautifully within this garden and just pack a real big punch. And even in the winter, when all the leaves have gone, it's got that shiny mahogany colour. And when there's a low light, it's really going to allow these stems to really glow in the darker months. So if you've got a small garden and you're looking to put a tree in there, which is going to perform all throughout the year, then this Tibetan cherry is a great choice. It's Betula jacquemontii. Now another tree. Now this variety has really attractive bark, whiter bark than the common birch. And that's really nice because actually it's picking up on the concrete lintels that Charlie's put in front of it. And I think it works so well here because of the dark backdrop and also the brick here. It actually helps to highlight that quite nicely. Now birch is fantastic because it's just quite fast growing, very natural, it's a gorgeous shape. And I think it's going to add a lot of interest to this garden throughout the seasons.
Charlie's colourful hot tub roof is taking shape. She spent £480 on the vibrant acrylic sheets and a further £300 on the wooden posts and beams.
I thought it'd be really fun to use some different colours. And it looks fantastic. When the sun comes out, you get this amazing pattern on the fence. It looks great. Look over there, it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. It's these. Are you available? Very Mondrian, really cool to do one at my house. Certainly are. Quirky. I want one of them. It looks, oh, I love it.
The water feature is up and running. It just needs a few drops of reflective black food dye to complete the sleek modern look. Keeping it company is Charlie's Japanese maple.
Acer palmatum. Absolutely lovely. It's a fantastic tree because you get a very dappled light, so it means that you can grow other plants underneath. And it's got that Japanese feel, and especially against the black fence. And come the autumn, these leaves will go fiery red, look amazing, and the colour is picked up on the roof that Lee's putting on, so it will look absolutely gorgeous.
The Acer set Charlie back £150, as did the birch. Whilst the Tibetan cherry was but you can buy them for less if you go much pricier at £175 for smaller trees. £5. The Rich brothers are laying down new turf, so Alfie the dog has a patch of lawn.
Got it, big boy. Fold that bit up. Let me get this in. Yes, sir.
Whilst a flash of extra wow factor is being added with dramatic lighting.
We got these uplighters dotted around on key features. Of course, it means you can use it at night, but it makes it very atmospheric, and it just really adds that je ne sais quoi. How about we put the seats up? Then I can be placing plants while you're shaving.
Yeah, that was just left over, that was. That's a great idea. Seats, how's it?
Seats.
Where you go? No, I'm going to go this way.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Harry. Whoa!
Come on.
Come on then, walk through.
There you go. It's...
I feel like we're on pilgrimage.
It's not.
I didn't know you got some items of clothing for us.
Think.
Yeah.
So this will help. Pretty cool, aren't they?
Why, eh?
Just work out where the plants are going. That's got to be the back, do you reckon?
Where's my spot here?
I'm first.
Is there a back and a front?
There is.
Work it out, Dave.
OK, I've done it.
You're a clever boy.
Charlie's last.
No, I've done mine.
What? You're not in it yet, though?
No, I'm not going to be in it. I'll never get out of it. Whoa, ready? Give you a push.
I tell you what, pretty cool down here.
Do you think Morgan, who's 15, will find them quite cool with his mates, away from mum and dad? But the other thing is they're detachable, so they can take them away. They could put a hammock right across there, or in the winter time they can take them away, hanging baskets, and then have a little bistro table here. So it's a very flexible area with all sorts that could go on. Right, talking about going on and on, boys. No dozing.
It's time to get planting.
Nah, it's cool, man.
Not sleeping. Sorry, Harry.
Man.
Now, in this garden, there's not an awful lot of colour. It's going to be lots and lots of green, but I've got lots of contrast with the foliage. So we've got big palmate leaves on the Fatsia japonica. We've got these gorgeous euphorbia, and I love root jerseys. Again, they've got these big sort of 5-fingered leaf. So there's all this contrast. So that's how we're getting the interest. It's going to be with textures.
Whilst a frenzy of planting begins, the hot tub is manoeuvred into place.
Well, that was easy.
Factor bed. David's concentrating his effort.
Now, next to the water feature,
That's on Charlie's central wow.
Charlie's positioned this beautiful Astelia. Now, it's a really cool plant. It's very architectural. And actually, next to this stainless steel, and with the slabs as well, it picks up that grey hue. So I think it's a really beautiful plant to have here. And then next to that is the box. Now, a completely different form. Instead of blade-like grasses, we'll have a lovely clipped mound. But it's that structure amongst the planting that really holds it together, and I think creates that lovely structural rhythm throughout the whole space.
Charlie's offsetting the foliage with patches of purple colour. Alliums and bearded irises do the trick.
Lovely. Joanna is going to love this.
Iris is to allow it to be baked by the sun. They love those. Now, one tip when you're planting your bearded additions, a real hot spot, and allow the rhizomes to be proud of the soil. And really, I think you get a nice plant, and it's got that gorgeous pop of colour, which just threads this garden really beautifully. Just make all the difference putting the alliums and the irises in.
Oh, it has, isn't it? I just feel like it's such a nice pop of colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, especially the iris.
They don't last for long, but when they come out, I mean, look at it. It looks just incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful. But I think it's just nice, like, especially with the alliums, it's what's so nice is quite early flowering, isn't it, in a way, and it gives such tall structure early on, and it comes above everything else. Flowers, doesn't it show, and then everything else then catches up.
Yeah. Just don't snap any of the flowers off, Charlie will get us.
That's why we're putting them in last, isn't it?
That's why me and you are only putting it in, because so you can tell us off.
And Charlie and the Rich brothers, with that, can admire the results. The garden is finished.
I'm really pleased with it.
It's almost a bit surreal to think that this was just brown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tough old brown dirt. And now look at it. All the different rooms are amazing, Charlie. The plants that run through. The fact that you've got a hot tub, and then you've got chill-out zone in this tiny space.
It's made the garden seem huge, because when we first walked in on that pitch, it seemed really narrow, but now it's
worked so beautifully. I mean, this Acer, I think, is my favourite tree in the whole garden.
I hope Joanna loves it. I
think you might get a tear.
She might cry when she sees the roof. It might be a bit wow too far. I think it's great. Well, I suppose we better see if they do actually like it. I have to say, I think I need to pull up.
Whoa. Let's roll.
When the team turned up, this plot was more of a build. Now it's had a building site than a garden. £6,500 makeover to become an elegant contemporary garden with wow factor. There's a striking central bed with modern concrete lintels and stylised planting. A chill-out area with hanging seats for Morgan and a lush lawn for Alfie the dog. Not forgetting the colourfully covered hot tub and Charlie's sleek water feature. Time to reveal the new garden to Joanna, Robert and Morgan.
I would like you to open your eyes.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
It's absolutely amazing.
Oh my god, it's unrecognisable.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my, they've got lights on. That's sick.
That is sick, isn't it? Oh, the approval from the teenager. Whoa!
Absolutely, yes.
Amazing.
The water fucking amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Picture.
That's
God, it's transformed.
Insane.
Grass for Alfie.
Alfie there. There's chairs, Mum.
Those look really.
So which bit of the garden are you heading for then, Morgan?
Hair and hair.
But you'll just be here then, supplying the nibbles.
That's it.
The drinks. Well, so the thing that I was worried about, I did say the roof was going to be clear.
Oh, look, no,
I love it.
no,
Yeah.
I
No, it's
really
the
like it.
reflections,
Yeah,
yeah.
really like that.
And the screen in there, that's fantastic. Love it.
Yeah, it's got the wow factor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Patio big enough?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Love the
fantastic.
slide.
Really good entertaining space.
Yeah.
That's what we
Really
wanted.
good.
Everything.
Yeah?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and more.
It's great.
So can you think, Morgan, of hanging out down there with your mates?
Yeah, very brilliant with the chairs and everything. I must say, I'm not a garden fan, but this is...
As a gardener.
Any apprenticeship.
Surprise.
Wow. You have a career for him.
You look like you're itching to go and sit in the chair, mate.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
See, now, I don't want to sort of say anything, but I couldn't even get into it, let alone get out of it. So,
Great. Having friends round. Brilliant.
So shall we go and check out the other bit? So over here, you wanted not pretty, you wanted stylised planting.
No, they're beautiful.
Ferns, your maple tree.
Absolutely love it.
So that is going to go bright red in the autumn.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say it's been a real tough build, and but we're really pleased with the results. And the guys that did a lot of the work, Harry and David, well, and we got to see what Elfie's going to do. Come on then, Elfie!
Right, thank you. Thank you so much.
What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely love it. Love it.
Elfie.
The rest of the gardeners
Elfie's checking it out.
Do you like it?
and a few of Joanna and Robert's friends and family join the festivities.
Right, let's get in the hot tub.
We asked for the wow factor from Charlie, and she's well and truly delivered it and beyond.
We're thrilled with the house, but now we've got everything to go with it in the garden. It's just complete, isn't it?
Yep.
Fantastic.